I don't get tired of that one. That's so cool.
Right?
What was that? The Frenzy? Is that what we're calling ourselves now?
I think so. I think so. The Frenzy.
Yeah.
No longer just about toys, but we're going to spend a crap ton of time talking about toys today.
I know, right?
Especially today.
Yeah.
We go through this whole big thing talking about how we're not going to be as toy centric. Like, we're still going to talk about some Motu stuff, but we're not going to be all about it. And then Mattel's like, "Oh, so we heard you guys were moving on, and hey."
I know my phone blew up that Friday. Mattel and all the people that worked there were calling me and saying, "What the hell are we doing? We're supposed to advertise for free for them."
Right. We're supposed to be free shills. Look, buddy, my free shilling only has so many pockets. Okay, Mattel.
Be like, look, Mattel, if we're going to be shills, you got to send us the product. That's how this works.
Exactly.
That's right. Like, if you want me to shill for you, I have to be able to get the product.
Well, that's why I stopped doing that vintage Motu stuff, because I'm like, here I am, putting out all this stuff for Mattel, and I don't get anything out of it besides people following me. But who cares? I get a follower count, big deal. So
here we go. This is just popping up in the chat from Thanos. He says, "Whatever, it worked." Mattel's social media actually posted stuff early on Tuesday. True enough. True enough.
Which is weird, like I've said that before. They never really post much on the new stuff. They'll put in like a graphic or something that says, like a bunch of figures, but they don't do like individual. But now they've been doing individual figures, so it's kind of
right.
different.
Like,
yeah,
we're lucky. I feel we're lucky when they actually like drop something. It was like that whole Skeletor Day or whatever that they were promoting, and it was like, I felt like that was the biggest social media flop I've ever seen a company do, because
I think I heard a toilet flush.
Yeah, that was pretty much it. I was like, what the crap is this? I was thinking like it was going to be like some really cool big thing. And it was like, oh yeah, here's a couple of short clips of, somebody cosplaying Skeletor going around city. It's like, okay.
Yeah. No, I think Skelly's ready, because I know that was Skelly's toilet. I think he's
Skelly's toilet.
Yeah, his toilet is going
on.
Hey,
there
he is.
Hello, everybody.
Got stopped up at McDonald's today, huh?
Yeah, at Mortarheads.
There we go.
How's it going, dudes?
Not too bad.
It's going.
Sorry, I'm a little late.
It's okay.
Nah, it's all right. I was having technical issues anyway that just screwed everything up anyhow. So nothing like getting onto your computer to log in and being like, oh, you've got an update. And I'm like, I'm supposed to be going live. I ain't got time for this update crap.
Don't you love that? Well, so I missed the first part. What did you guys talk about? What did I miss?
Just the fact that...
Just that we tried to get out of toys and Mattel pulled us back in.
I know. There's no escaping. No. I did. Adam sent me a bunch of images of the new Origins and the new Masterverse figures, so we can definitely jump into that when everybody's ready. Yeah. Man, I mean, I'm excited. This is our first official The Frenzy.
Right.
Did you guys already talk about that?
Not much. Yeah, we were kind of
a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
Because it's like we got it mixed in with what Mattel did and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like we were saying, we're trying to not move away from toys, but the day we have the first Frenzies, the day where
of course
the same week there's tons of toy talk.
Of course, it's huge. I mean, okay, I gotta confess.
Uh-oh.
So a lot of these things are coming out in August, I guess.
Okay.
Or fall, August.
Yeah.
And forget Walmart, Thanos. Like I give up on anything having to do with Walmart. Mattel, I hope you're listening. Walmart is just not happening. Nobody is interested. It's such bad news. The small group of people that were able to get those last 2 Walmart exclusive orders were, lucky, but everybody else that I've chatted with haven't been able to get them. So
I heard a couple people got canceled orders already.
I mean, that's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. So yeah, Mattel, don't do Walmart. That's just not working. I did find some cute Mickey Mouse kitchen towels at Walmart, but that's about it. Yeah, I gotta say, I did pre-order some of those things. Since they're coming out in August, ordering through Big Bad Toy Store is awesome because I can save up and it won't be, I don't feel unprepared to buy the Skeletor on the throne or the Collector.
Oh, man.
It's like to me, it's like those are the 2 priciest items, but I can save up for that now.
Yeah.
And it's secure with Big Bad Toy Store. I trust them, and it's secure.
Yeah, I used to buy from them.
Get it.
Yep.
I was trying to get Moss Man for one of my buddies. I ended up going 6 different Walmarts in a radius around me. Only one still carries Masters, and I eventually got it. But if 1 out of 6 in a major metropolitan area is only one is carrying it, that's not great.
Yeah, I do have one, Adam, because the ones around me, none of them. They have 0 Masters on the shelf. They've got those Superstars toys.
Yeah, I've seen those in a few.
Wave 2. I'm not even seeing the more current waves with the newer figures. I'm seeing wave 2. I did finally see an Earthquake and Typhoon, but unfortunately I wasn't shopping for those that weekend, so I didn't pick them up.
Yeah, Chef M80 is saying Merman is going to be the next Duplico. I haven't seen Merman even pop up for pre-sale anywhere.
No, he's supposed to be a Walmart exclusive again.
I haven't seen the Masterverse Merman either pop up. Has anybody seen that guy?
No, I haven't looked on any toy shops yet.
I'm not too worried about some of them because I know they are slated for fall releases. And if they haven't posted them up for did with a lot of the other ones, are by fall release, we're probably talking maybe next year because we've seen that before with some of the stuff.
Oz is doing his internet searches again. You can tell from the delay. As soon as he pops onto the internet to do his search, it's like we get the Oz here, Oz half not there. I don't know if he can even hear me right now. Can you hear us okay?
I can now, yeah.
Okay.
He just chooses to hear you right now.
I wasn't sure
I know.
He hear me.
Yeah, we can.
We can, yeah. But yeah, it's exciting. Do we want to look at the images or sort of do that, or do we want to talk Lords of Power? There's some really cool stuff we have to discuss tonight, guys.
Yeah, we could go through the chat first if you want.
Yeah, let's do that.
I was going to say,
looks like Oz
let's hit up the chat and see what we got.
Yeah. It looks like Oz has starred a few things. So, do you want me to go ahead and do the starred one, Oz, or are you on it? I think he's just messing with us now at this point.
I don't know. I can't tell.
I can't tell either. Oh, he's gone.
Yep.
Oh, that computer update.
Computer update. That's probably what it is. Well, we got, okay, I'm going to go through the starred ones. Oz went through and generously starred all these. So we got Chef M80. Good to see you. Thanos Copter. Awesome to see you here. JMax77. Yeah, thanks. We're excited.
Yep.
Duchess, great to see you here. JMax77. And now that we have to buy new merch to support the new channel. Yeah, so that's absolutely true. The Toy Frenzy merch, everybody, this is a good opportunity to talk about it, unless you guys already did.
No, we're waiting for you to discuss it.
So eventually I think in about a month, I'm going to switch the Toy Frenzy merch over to the Frenzy merch. So if you haven't gotten your Toy Frenzy merch, and if you want to get a little something like a mug or a pint glass or a t-shirt or something, so you can reminisce of the Toy Frenzy days, you have about a month to do that before we switch over to the Frenzy stuff. So thanks, J-Mac, for pointing that out. So
by May, then it'll be up.
That's right, by May. I know no particular date yet, but let's just say the full month of April is what you have to do your Toy Frenzy shopping. And the link for the store is right down below. Ron Embry, great to see you here. Figuratively speaking, John, great to see you. Hey, we got Vine Jungle Figure Factory, great to see you here. Night One, yes, tons of reveals for sure.
Yep.
JMac77 cannot give up on the Merman exclusive. Definitely, he has my heart too. And we got Kenzo's here. Good to see you, Kenzo. And Ace is back. Ace, we missed you the last time. Yep. I saw that, Adam. That's funny.
Oh, jeez.
That's hilarious. You just posted a great photo on Instagram.
Yeah. I'm still playing with him. He's a lot of fun.
Yeah, he's cool. That's the classics version, right?
The classic squeeze, yeah.
Yeah. So cool. All right, let's see who we missed. I'm gonna go through, see if anybody's popping in. Those are the ones that Oz starred, and Oz said, "On my phone, guys, internet is failing tonight." Oh no. Well, Oz, if you can, pop on with your phone. And it's okay if it's a little bit choppy. We'll be happy to have you back here, even if it's choppy.
Yep.
And yeah, so all right, we did that.
All right.
We did all of that. Let's talk a little bit. Let's just jump into the new releases. We'll save Lords of Power for the Battle Ram report, and Oz has a big reveal tonight, thanks to David, Motu Origins Cork. So, Adam, thanks for gathering these slides.
Yeah, no problem. Now, I'll mention I got all these images from, what is it? I don't want to not give them credit. Shoot. You start, and I'll give them credit in a second.
All right, yeah. It's like, is it like, I'm blanking too. It doesn't matter. We'll definitely give them credit in a moment. But I was seeing these images pop up on all kinds of people's sites, like Pixel Dan had some.
Yeah, they're from Mattel. It's just that
they are from Mattel, but I did get them from Toy Habits, is where I got them.
Toy Habits. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Yep. Shout out to Toy Habits, friends of the channel, friends of the show. So this was when they revealed this, I felt like this was a sneak attack, and I was not prepared. I don't think anybody was prepared or expecting this. In fact, it kind of felt like, to me, like Origins and Masterverse were kind of calming down. Like I wasn't sure how much more they were going to put out. So let's see. We've got all these images here, but then we've got some specific images coming up here. We'll start off with the collector. This is huge. I want to know my biggest concern at this when this was revealed was Bobby.
Yeah.
Are you gonna get it? Because I know this is something that you've been wanting too.
Well, yeah, I know. Like when Origins came out, and I posted on Twitter years ago that I actually asked Mattel to make that, and I said the fans want the collector, and now it's here, and
Yeah.
I don't like it.
You don't like it?
No, it like me and Adam were talking about it earlier, and it looks like a bath toy. Like like those old plastic boats that you clip together. And
Hell yeah.
Yeah, like the white bottom and then
Yeah.
a green top or a red top. It kind of looks like that, and it's just.
It does.
I know that Filmation is
Yay.
flat, flat colored and stuff like that.
I'm on my phone.
Awesome.
But
We're so Oz. Bobby was just talking about how the collector to him looks like a bath toy.
Rub-a-dub-dub, Skeletor in the tub.
That's okay.
And I don't know. I probably have to see it more in person than the two images. I was more impressed when I saw it open and I saw the two figures in it, because I was like, well, how are they going to fit anybody in there? And it looks pretty small, but they actually got 3 characters that can go in there. But
yeah, there's the image of the chairs.
Right.
Now, I think what you're saying is true in that it's simple in design,
right?
And it's not too elaborate. There's not a lot of, how like on the battle ram, there's a lot of mechanical elements that you can see that are 3-dimensional. There's not a lot of that here. It does look like a display piece, but I gotta say, I kind of love how simple and dorky it looks. I mean, I just kind of love it.
I know it's because it's a Filmation thing. So like Filmation's got more flat colors and
exactly
flat design. I understand that. I don't know. It's just like I said, I'll have to see it in person.
Yeah.
But I'm not really like, oh my god, they finally made it. But it's kind of like, I think because I'm so out of it now too, in a way that nothing is really. Like, I don't feel that I have to have anything anymore. It's weird. Like, I don't have that urge or that pull towards anything.
Yeah. I was feeling that way when the cartoon collection launched, and now I'm totally like, I'm loving it. I'm not going to get all the characters, obviously, but I'm definitely getting the villains.
Yeah.
I'm definitely getting Evil Lyn and Trapjaw and Merman. Like, their sculpts look beautiful to me. They're gonna look good next to the Super 7 Filmation figures that I have. But yeah, I mean,
For me,
I get
the accessories. Like, I like all the little extras from the cartoon, right? Like each little bit that comes with them is extra world building stuff that I like.
Yeah.
But the overall, I just haven't been like, oh my god, I need these. Although the collector, it's another vehicle that I don't have space for, but I really kind of want it. I'm liking the whole translucent green arms, like the extending arms here.
Yeah.
A lot of goodness. Like,
and
I do enjoy
it. Bigger too. Maybe it should be bigger too. I'm not
it definitely should be bigger. I agree with that a whole lot. Like, the collector to me was a massive ship. This kind of feels so scaled down, but it is a toy. So
no, I understand that.
Yeah.
Now we're all gonna have to do pictures in bathtubs with the collector when we get it.
Yeah, well, I don't know if I want to see all that shit.
I get the whole bubbles around.
A bunch of mermen swimming.
That's right, mermen and
the seamen are back.
Yeah.
All right, bye. Just kidding. I like what
bathtub yellow, like the water yellow. No,
oh yuck! I know. I like what Allison is saying here. If Filmation style is too simple, the sculpt like on this is so good that with a decent paint wash or a mix of gunmetal and silver paint, you could have something spectacular. I agree. Yeah. It's like it's a blank slate in a way. We're going to see all kinds of customizers do cool things with this.
Oh yeah.
But I do know that the reason why it's like that is because it's Filmation. So I mean,
Right.
I completely understand that. Maybe it's because it's the size, next to the figure stand. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'll have to see it in person. I might be more impressed with it when I see it in person.
Yeah. Well, it's cool. Adam, I think you were going to say something a little bit ago.
Oh, I was just going to say, if they had released this in the 80s, I'm sure it would have been scaled down as well.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But I think just the top, the skull portion, it's such a thin little piece of plastic. I don't know if it was a little bit like, especially like where the teeth come down, you can just see the edge of this thin layer.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Where on the original thing, it looked more like solid under there.
Yeah.
So I don't know. The sculpt isn't bad at all. I think it's just it reminds me of my son's old Octonaut toys that he used to.
Oh yeah.
Just I don't know.
Mr.
There's just
Mouse.
something about it. It could use a little bit more of a heaviness to the plastic.
Yeah, for sure.
It looks like a microwave safe, like container or something.
People are going to be using this to cover their meals in the microwave.
Looks like the old bottle steamer I used to have for Connor.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, we're getting a collector, but where the heck is my Spydor?
Or Battle Ram, come on.
Come on.
Yeah.
Can't have everything, I guess. I mean, how long have we all been saying we want a collector as well?
Yeah,
that's true.
Vintage Battle Ram, you could get a vintage Spydor, but you can't get a vintage collector. So
can't get a vintage collector. Well, I mean,
that's true.
Well,
I'm thankful.
I was gonna say I'd just show up over to Bobby's place and kidnap him. Hey, I got that vintage collector.
So if I get kidnapped, guys, you know who's done it.
Yeah, exactly.
I said nothing.
Now again, another question for Bobby: how can you resist this? This is good. This is all good.
Like I've said before, recently, just because I retired doesn't mean I can't get anything,
right?
But I mean, if it's something special, then I probably will pick up Evil Lynn, maybe.
Yeah,
if I see her at Target or something.
Yeah.
I gotta say, this is pretty special, Bobby. Like,
she's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's a fantastic figure. I always like the purple. Yeah. Like the blues were great, but I love the purples.
I got this Filmation Evil Lynn, so I'm happy with that.
And that's a great one too.
Yeah, it is.
She is. She's a great one.
Like they did that 2000X, and I was just like, okay, it's just the same repaint of the original figure, but with the 2000X colors. And I was like, now if they just could have done the blue highlights with the purple on that, then we would have had the Filmation style. And now here she is.
Yeah.
She looks great, and she's my first cartoon crush. Like I could get all I'll never get sick of seeing Evil Lynn show up as a new figure, and I'll always be tempted.
Yeah, no, Evil Lynn is awesome. She's badass.
She does look a little more yellow.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is that what they're going with though? Because I saw that too, and I was like, she wasn't like that in the cartoon. So
yeah.
But this one,
that one.
Yeah, I was going to say it depends on the lighting.
I think the lighting.
She did have a tinge of yellow in the cartoon, but it was very subtle.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Very slight jaundiced.
Yeah.
Just mildly jaundiced.
Yeah. I think this is the image that makes me the happiest. Her skin tone looks correct. She looks great. Yeah.
I like the face sculpt a lot.
Face sculpt is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like the Joan Jett of Masters of the Universe. So that's awesome.
Absolutely.
Well, that's what I loved about the Filmation. All the face designs and everything, they all looked so good.
Yeah.
They all they were great looking.
Yeah. This is awesome. If not just for the extra arm and the bot.
Yeah.
The bot.
Right.
I mean, that means we're gonna get some gray ones, and
let's get some hover bots.
We could use those. I did not pre-order this though.
Yeah, I got the classic versions of the hover bots. Those are pretty cool.
Yeah, those are amazing. Those are really cool.
They were outstanding. But honestly, what made me pop more for this than anything else was that hoverbot. And I forget who it was. Somebody had asked them, because this guy popped up on one of the packages recently as a tease. And they asked if we might be seeing him as a figure because he had the cape and, it was Cyclone's packaging. Everybody was going crazy about Cyclone's packaging. Yeah. And somebody had asked if we may be seeing this guy because he was like behind Hurricane Hordak on the cover. And they, he was like, well, like they were very, it wasn't a straight up, like, kind of no, like they might normally give as a response. It was a very beating around the bush. And then here it is like a week later and bam, there it is. He's here.
What's with the red and black though? What's that from? Is that like a comic or something?
It's basically just supposed to be like a general of, Hordak's army.
Of Horde. Like, isn't he like Horde? Isn't he associated with Horde Prime a little bit here?
I think I saw something about that, but I don't know if it was from anything official.
Adam, do you know?
I mean, it's not based. I'm not seeing anything like from the vintage line. Maybe there's a modern comic it's referencing.
That's what I'm thinking.
But I think it's some kind of general, or like Oz was saying.
Yeah.
Kind of
Crimson
like the Red
Guard.
Crimson Guard. Yeah. But I mean, as cheap repaints go, it's brilliant.
Black and red,
yeah.
You can't go wrong with black and red.
Nope.
He would look great next to my Maximilian from Black Hole.
I'll tell you what. If you'd gotten the 4-pack, a couple years back, he'd look great flanked by those other two Horde troopers, the black and the red one.
Yeah.
That's true.
Like a little elite squad. I dig it.
Totally. Here's another thing that I sprung for. I could not. I'm a sucker for this Cringer, man.
That is a good one.
He's so good. I mean, sorry, Oz. Real quick. Speaking of how the collector was something we never had Cringer in the vintage line either. So this is really exciting territory.
It's the two heads too, the scared face and
Oz, what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say this Cringer action figure is absolutely amazing. I don't know so much about the Prince Adam accessory set that he's coming with, but I will gladly get this Cringer because we get an articulated Cringer finally.
Yeah, I mean, there was a Cringer in Classics, as Allison's pointing out. It's true,
right? But it wasn't articulated. It was just like a statue.
Yeah.
Not only is it articulated, we get swappable heads.
Yeah,
it was probably about this size too. It was kind of undersized in Classics.
Yeah.
Too.
Well, which makes sense, right? Because he always grew into Battle Cat. So
yeah,
I like that they didn't just use a Battle Cat body and put a Cringer head on it. Right.
How much is that one? That set there? Is it up for sale yet?
It is. It's on Big Bad Toy Store.
Okay,
I got
I'll
it.
take a look.
Yeah, it's really not that bad. But check out his hand holding the sword.
Yep. With the new hands now.
That's amazing. So they're going to allow him to hold his sword aloft, which is great.
That's amazing. Finally. It's because I was showing off the Knight last week.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it is.
Yeah, they're like it. Sorry, good, Bobby.
I know my vintage, or not my vintage, my Classics Filmation version of He-Man. He can bend his wrist like that too.
Yeah.
Ricky points like that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But I don't know if any of them other ones do, but he does.
Kenzo says that it's $30, so there you go.
Okay, well, that's not too bad for two.
It's not that bad.
No. Especially for Cringer, you can't get them anywhere else.
Yeah, it's very cool. This is that first reveal, and you can see that his wrist has the joint on the that's to the side instead of.
Yeah, Evil Lynn back It doesn't look as yellow either.
That's true. That's true.
Like you said, it could be lighting.
Yep.
I was gonna say there were a couple of shots that they were showing off, and these were official shots from Mattel, where I noticed some variance between one shot to another. So it's definitely like some of them may have been digital renders, and they kind of put the background up, or then they, took some actual figures of the final product. I know one of them, when we come across like the Turtles of Grayskull stuff, there were a couple different shots of Tila, and some of them, she had gold elements to her armor. Other ones, those gold elements were silver. Now, I know Mattel's not footing the bill for color change in plastic, especially from gold to silver.
Right.
So those shots, like one of them was definitely like a digital render, and then the other one was like the finalized product.
Okay.
Or, they were just pulling the parts from previous versions of her and then putting it on, to make a new one. So
yeah, got it.
Yeah, you can't trust everything that you see in the pictures as far as like final colors, but it's safe to say they're going to be pretty close.
Hasn't that been since the 80s, final product or the image,
Yeah, exactly.
Merman.
Yeah, right.
Hey, we got Terrence St. John here. As you can see, Terrence, we are talking toys. We are talking toys, my friend.
Still talking toys, brother.
This guy, Reptilax or something like that.
Reptilax.
Yeah, I know this is right up Oz's alley. I'm just I didn't feel necessary to go to get this guy. But he looks cool.
Right? I mean, he was a character in the King Hiss mini comic that Axel kind of fleshed out for classics.
Yeah.
And then they never made him, right? Mm-hmm. But like he showed, like he used the retooling of Fangman's head, like this person's part, like, he basically laid out the part pieces to make him, and they just never, got him in the line.
Well, if you paint it blue, it's Fangman.
Yeah, where's Fangman? That's what I want to know. Like,
I was just thinking, now they got to do right?
I'm on board for Fangman, Mattel. If you're listening, I'm on board for Fangman.
Well, I mean, we've seen we're getting some other kind of rarities and deep cuts, so I don't think Fangman's out of the picture, especially now that we basically have his head.
Yeah, it looks like him. Yeah.
Yep, totally.
Right? Like, I am all about Reptilax, and there's the art. Now, I always thought his sword looked a lot like the Master Sword from Legend of Zelda.
Totally.
Which I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Instead, they kind of, our version of them, we don't get as detailed weapons. You get they must have like really mass produced that battle axe.
Yes.
Because it seems every other figure is coming out with that axe.
Yeah, they've made a lot of versions of that.
And definitely Triclops' sword is getting a lot of reuse too between different figures. Because, again, what did we get it with?
Fisto as well.
Yeah, Fisto, Triclops, Koldar had it. Brett the Hitman Hart had it, in the Masters of the WWE line. Like, they are just constantly using that sword. But you know what, though? I'm not really mad because I always thought it was kind of a neat looking sword. I just, either way, I'm excited to be getting Reptilax.
This dude looks cool. I mean, I'm starting. So you're watching it, folks, happening in real time. I was right up until this moment. I was like, I'm not going to get him. Now I'm starting to get that tingle. I don't know. We'll see.
That's what I was saying. I don't have that. So it's a whole different feeling.
And with that tail, they could do Lizard Man.
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
Because there was one shot that somebody else showed. I wish I could remember who it was that had it in one particular shot. It was a different pose than either of the ones pictured here, where you could see more of the back of them. And there is a pretty good amount of texture to that tail. So I'm excited to see what else they will use that tail for.
Yeah, it's a good tail.
Like some tail.
Yeah. And now this guy I thought was cool too. It's another pass for me, but I do love that they're referencing the snake from the Eternia playset to create this character.
Right.
Yeah.
Viper. Another
Viper.
really awesome, concept figure fully coming out. It's great to actually see him in production here. Because again, Axel fully was like, yeah, let's go ahead and do this for classics, and never came out. Mind you, I didn't even realize that these were things then. It's all stuff that I've learned in the past couple of years doing research, and I was like, oh, this would have been great. And I would have hunted these guys down. I'm glad to see that we're getting them in action figure form now with Origins, which is a set that I'm actively collecting as much as I can.
Does that come with that creature that's from the Eternia set too, from that render?
No.
This was the classics kind of markup where they were like,
Oh, okay.
Scott wanted everybody to have 2 or 3 accessories, so I doubt we will see that actually with the Origins version. Now I think we're just going to get the little staff.
I gotcha.
It's too bad because I love this skull staff thing. That
well, I guess that should have been part of a hint.
Kenzo.
Yeah. Thank you, Kenzo.
Thank you, Kenzo.
Brother. So there is I bet. New action feature, folks. Perfect for
it's like a little thing underneath there.
All right. So they did show off Axel had worked on some packaging along with a 3D printer that they were doing the very accessories for Reptilax and Viper here. That little skull-shaped staff and the axe, as well as a Fangor creature too, if I remember correctly. But it's like a Los Amigos exclusive.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's a German exclusive convention, but they will be there. So our friends overseas, hook us up, help us out.
Hook us up. So Bobby, do you happen to have your Filmation Spike-Or right there? I want to do a face comparison.
Yeah.
Okay, so he still has a little bit of a smirk, but this guy's got a little bit more of a smirk. It looks to me like
it's pretty close.
Pretty close.
Yeah, it is really close.
And
I thought that when I saw him, I was like, wow, he actually does look really, really good.
Yeah, he does. It was not too long ago when in the episode of Toy Frenzy, I was like, man, that's one that I wish I would have gotten. So I'm really excited that they're coming out with him so early on in the line too, which is surprising and strange.
Yeah, it took us a while to get Origins Spike-Or, but Filmation Spike-Or, they're like, nah, unique mold, let's get it going.
That's right.
Yeah. I love his Filmation face. I understand where you're coming from, Thanos, just because I love also the vintage face, but
I like the vintage or the Filmation.
Yeah, I like the Filmation face too.
I'm not gonna lie, I like the pink, purple, and blue going on here.
Oh yeah,
we all know I'm a big fan, and those colors just really pop. Whereas the vintage version, it's like a darker purple, and a more muted kind of pinkish purple for his the flesh tone on him. So I'm really liking this brighter, more popped color of the Filmation, which again, normally Filmation colors were a little bit more muted. So to have something so bright and vibrant.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what are the yellow and orange bulb.
I think that was that game. Remember when he had to go do that game with for the strongest or the biggest character on Eternia, and he was cheating. Yeah, it was that race game, and they had to collect those things. I think that's what those are.
Okay, I couldn't figure it out either. I was racking my brain, but
because there's not too many.
Vaguely remember that episode.
Yeah, it was like that game, that big UFO that came out, and they had to they had to challenge each other. Who was the most honorable guy or something.
Yeah.
and he was cheating the whole time. And I think the yellow was like worth 50, or the red was 50, and the gold was 100 points or something like that.
That makes sense. That rings a bell for me.
Yeah, I think that's what those are. And you had to climb up at the tree, and they grabbed one and it fell out of the tree and landed in the freaking He-Man's hands, and that's how He-Man won or something. So
yeah. And of course the notorious Clawful.
Yeah.
It pissed me off so much as a kid. Like, just all I wanted to see was the figure Clawful in the cartoon. And when I saw him show up, I was like so disappointed. But now I've grown to love this Clawful because I have the super set, or the Filmation version of him too.
Yeah.
And he came with that what's it called again? The Horn of Evil. That's right. He came with that in the classics, the Club Grayskull version as well.
Yep.
What I'm excited for this again is I dig the additional head for like a custom Snake Man, right? Because let's face it, the Clawful for Filmation does not look like, it doesn't look like a crustacean dude. Like it does
he's like he's a dog with claws, essentially. He's like
he looks like Clawful in the cartoon.
He does.
That's what the figure is. I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
Like, you'd be like, oh, that doesn't look like him.
Yeah, the cartoon did not look anything like the toy. No, basically, is what I'm saying. And so now getting this version, he's going to be with. He's definitely going to be with my Snake Man.
Yeah. It's not Clawful. That's Attack Gonzo. I love that. No, I love this guy. I definitely pre-ordered him. I can't not get this guy. It's just and I also got this guy too.
That's the one I wish they would make in classics, but they didn't.
Yeah. I love this. It's nice to see the Filmation version of this guy.
I don't know why he's got that string stuck in his ear, but
here's another picture here.
Yeah.
That's good. I love that he has the same action feature, which is great, right?
Yeah.
Right? But the pack's different, right? Like the harness that attaches it.
Yeah, a little bit different.
Totally different tooling for that. So, I mean, that's pretty cool. Again, it's that Filmation style where it was a little less bulky than the toy version. But I'm digging it. I really, really like it.
It comes with that statue too. That
for the Grimulkin.
Yeah.
Yep.
So good. And Thanos, I also don't care for his Filmation look.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, Thanos. It's just that I certainly love the Filmation look for me.
It's pretty close to the toy too.
Yeah,
that's true.
A little slightly more cartoony.
Yeah, he's not as evil looking.
Yeah,
right. He looks goofier.
Yeah. Hey guys, my name is Webster. Yeah,
that's it. That's right. I was just gonna seriously, Bobby. I was just gonna ask: can anybody do the voice? Because I can't do it. Can you do that again for us?
No, that's one shot. I got the
Bobby just goes, "What did I do? That was my voice."
Hey, this is Webstar coming out.
That's it. I love it.
Aces.
Thanos, yeah. I mean, really, my first love for all of these characters is always the vintage toys. So I'm with you on that, Thanos.
Yeah. No, same here.
Yeah.
But Filmation's right there though, because that was He-Man for me, was the Filmation cartoon.
Yeah.
Right.
Let me ask you this, Bobby.
Okay.
If these had come out before Origins, you would have been all in on these, huh?
Oh, of course I would have.
Yeah.
That was 5 years ago already. So
yeah.
Man, that's crazy to think about.
I know, yeah.
It is crazy.
So yeah, if they came out with all the film, I would have been right on them all. There would have been no doubt about it. I think we even talked about that on Collectors of Power a while back. I said I wish they would come out with Filmation versions of them, but yeah, now we're here and I'm just not feeling it.
Yeah,
we understand, man. Sometimes you just kind of get out of it.
Means to get them either.
Now, this is a pack that I know not a lot of people were too excited about the Demogorgon and Skeletor. I was more for the Demogorgon than for the Skeletor, just because it's another unique character to have in, the baddies, right?
Right.
So with this one, I'm kind of like on that same level. Like I really, really dig the Vecna figure here. The burning grandfather clock's a cool nod to the show. But then I'm also really interested in this He-Man shield.
Yeah, what's going on with that? I mean, that's the name of their, or the Hellfire Club, right? So it's the Hellfire Club shield.
Yeah.
Again,
which another great nod to the show.
I mean, I'm kind of like, I'm not going to get this pack, but it's worth it to me for that shield alone. That shield looks amazing. But let's not forget this super interesting He-Man figure too. The colors here are, I'm really kind of a little confused and unsure at what I'm actually looking at. Is there a metallic sheen to him? I
think he's supposed to look like he came from the upside down.
Ah, okay.
Like he's pale and
that's kind of great. That's kind of a great version of He-Man.
Yep. And I know Allison had mentioned it in the Toy Frenzy chat, or the Frenzy chat, that the parts from this Vecna would make an epic Swamp Thing custom for anybody.
Oh, that's very true. Very true.
Yeah, like the way he looks. So that's another appeal to me, where I almost want to get two, just so I can kind of paint over parts of it. And you can see they're reusing some of that mutated Mossman parts too, because originally I was thinking, oh, use those mutated Mossman parts. That was before I saw the version with the rest of the accessories. I was like, oh, he's already got those. That's great.
Yeah, I like that. I'm glad you said that. I'm excited to see what people do with this. He's definitely going to be a cool Swamp Thing, Motu Swamp Thing mashup in the future. So these are Target exclusives. I'm not sold on it. Maybe I'm kind of with All Music Fan 88. Like, you have to see it in hand. Kenzo, you got to watch that show. Stranger Things is a good show.
Really is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, I know it's not going to be everybody's cup of tea, but I just always like really spooky, creepy looking monsters. So the Demogorgon and Vecna going into my Masters Universe collection, it's funny. I'm more excited about them than I am for just some of the other stuff that they're putting out right now, right?
That's good.
It's good to just see something new. You had to start with this one?
I know. Now we're moving into Masterverse. These are so. Oh, man, I fell in love with this the moment I saw it. I just think this is spectacular.
Well, like, what's not to love about it, right? It's a new Eternia Skeletor with Bone Throne and Alcala head, and some of those added parts from the already put out new Eternia Skeletor, which I already liked, and just the flames too, and they light up.
God. And I'm just about to embark. So this popped up just as I'm about to embark on making a Bone Throne. And I'm like, fuck, I can't even, this is not, I'm just going to I'm have to put my blinders on and just make a Bone Throne that's totally just a Skelevator version of Bone Throne and not even think about this. Yeah, because this Bone Throne, finally, this is the biggest thing that was the biggest disappointment for me. This is going to sound silly about not being able to afford the Classics Snake Mountain from Super 7, was that I wasn't going to get a Bone Throne. So when this Origin Snake Mountain came out and we got this, I was so ecstatic, so ecstatic to get this super simplified version of the Bone Throne. And now this is available, and it's expensive, but it's still affordable. Right. He looks, it's great.
I think it's well worth it. The detail, the paint apps, are great. The fact that the flames on it, right? It's a light-changing LED. Seems like it's so simple, right? Like just, oh yeah, that's not that hard to do. It's like, yeah, well, how many of your toys have light up LEDs that you didn't put in it yourself, right?
Exactly.
So it might be
say,
simple, but it's the feature that is not available. So
yeah,
this Skeletor head for me is the best that they've done for this line.
yeah.
It looks like
down.
a Mondo style head.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's definitely Alcala inspired, and every time there's an Alcala head, I'm all for it. For it. It's my favorite. There's the Skeletor, the Mondo Skeletor appears. I put the Alcala head on there, and it's like, I don't know if I need to put any other head on there. All right, so that's like, I think we're all breathless over this. I don't know. So you guys, what are your thoughts?
Yeah,
I need to go smoke a cigarette. That was so good.
What were you gonna say, Bobby?
No, I just said it was good. It's cool looking. I like it.
Yeah.
Dang.
I'm tempted by it. I'm not collecting Masterverse, but I could see buying just this one just to have it on the shelf.
Well, that could be like a centerpiece type of thing too, where you could just store it on your shelf. I mean, it's just, you know.
Or I could use the head on one of my classic Skeletors and use the throne with classics too.
That's right. And the Bone Throne has an actually furry seat.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Man, so cool. So good.
Trying to dust that then.
Yeah, I know, right? All right, the Hordak is good too. Revolution Hordak.
Looking good.
It looks good. Tempting. I'm not in on it yet, but he's a tempting design of this character. We love this guy, and this looks good.
Yeah. You know, again, the Revolution was an outstanding show. I definitely like the look of Hordak in it. It's cool to see that version of Hordak here in toy form. Definitely true to the episode. Like I said, you know, this is why you shouldn't have shown the Bone Throne first, because everything else just kind of seems underwhelming.
I've got something at the end that I'm really excited to talk about.
Well, okay. I think I know what we're talking about then.
Oh, this is something we should have started with this one, because I'm like, really? You went from like the last Man-at-Arms that is super amazing looking to this. He almost looks.
Hey, I like the Man of War one. I'm digging it.
The costume's great, but look at that face sculpt. It's like they kind of
he's got a face plate. Just cover him up.
It's another play school. Like I swear, there's one sculptor doing them. Every once in a while, you get one of these heads that looks so out of place. It does not look like an adult sculptor sculpt.
No, nothing against the sculptor, but man, the other Man-at-Arms face sculpts have been
so
spectacular.
Yeah. No, a full agreement there. But like I said, they gave us a paper bag to put over his head, so we'll just call it
that's true.
after we're done.
There you go.
That's very true. That's very true. And then I'm in love with this too. This is great. I'm so happy for this Grizzlor. This Beastman's awesome. Yeah. That was my biggest thing when I saw the 87 movie was like, what do they just put Grizzlor in as Beastman? That's like, why wouldn't they give us Beastman? But
I was just gonna say, why are they giving us another Grizzlor in Masterverse already?
This is Harry and the Hendersons.
That's right. Yeah. I mean,
Lithgow?
Yeah. I am super stoked for this figure though.
It's kind of dressed like Planet of the Apes too, in a way.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Definitely. Like Ursus. Yeah.
Definitely General Ursus vibe going on here.
Right.
Speaking of General Ursus, if you guys want to listen to me talk about Planet of the Apes, go listen to the latest episode of Cambridge and with Sean.
Planet of the Apes is the best. I love
Planet of the Apes is the best. It's great. But yeah, this Grizzlor, this Beastman, I'm totally on board for this Beastman.
Agreed.
Yeah. I'm excited. Let's see. We got some comments here. Let's catch up. We got happy for all the movie fans getting these. Unfortunately, I'm not one.
It's okay. You don't have to be. You know, it's just nice to be excited for other people getting stuff that they want, you know, as well. And it saves you money to put towards something that you do actually want, you know, and that's a great thing about it.
Hey, Joe and Toy Mama showed up. Who else? I feel like we may have missed some people here.
Maybe.
Yeah, we've had some people filing in. Sorry, I can't stay on top of it as much as I would like to.
Apologies, folks. It's me, and I'm doing my regular sort of almost okay, but not quite getting it. Anyways, for those of you who are here, good to see you here. Thank you for being here. If we missed you, say another thing, and we'll try and get you. Oh, this guy, Motu Prince.
Nice.
Great to see you here, Motu Prince. First time.
Yeah, right.
I don't recall seeing Motu Prince in the past, so I said this guy, but you could be anybody really. So good to have you here, Motu Prince. And Battle Armor, New Eternia Battle Armor Skeletor. Oh, we lost Oz again. He'll be back. He'll be back, folks. I think this guy is awesome.
Okay.
I just don't feel like I need to get him. The helmet is really, really cool.
Yeah, it's like Skelegod almost.
Mm-hmm.
And I like he's got like the chainmail over his skull, and then you put the helmet on over that. Very cool medieval looking kind of fantasy design.
Yeah. The axe is cool too. Yes. The face sculpt Allison is pointing out is so evil. Yeah, I mean, it's great. I mean, I gotta be honest. If this had been released as the only Skeletor coming out, the new Eternia Battle Armor Skeletor, I think I would have gone for it. But because I'm going for the Bone Throne and that Alcala style Skeletor, I gotta have my limits. You know what I mean?
Right. I'm sure you can pick this up like later on in the future too.
Oh, for sure. I'm hoping this is one that will be a clearance item down the line and pick them up for sure.
Or even if you got it like on eBay or something, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Some of these might not be that expensive.
That's very true.
A few years from now.
That's very true. He does look great. He does look good. Yes. Thank you, Vine Jungle Figure Factory. Alcala is king. I agree.
I am all about the Skeletor.
Yeah. Kenzo's saying the blue pops more too. It's more vivid. Yes, indeed. Norway director, welcome. First time viewer that we know of. So thanks for joining into the chat. Norway director does not like the pale purple color. Yeah, that's kind of like that is a paler, like a powdery purple almost that we haven't gotten yet. So yeah, I'm personally a fan of all versions of purple, by the way. So I'm cool with it.
Guys, I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to be able to hang on.
Well,
my phone is rapidly dying. I was trying to plug it in here and charge. That's why it backed me out for a second, and the charger's not working. So that's
let's pause for a moment and let's take care of some Lords of Power business. What do you say?
Okay.
Yeah, but we better do Oz's portion of that first.
Yes. Okay. So we'll do Oz. Oz, we'll do you first, and this is exciting, folks. Oz, do you want to tell folks the story behind today's episode?
Well, for our segments, we got these sweet new intros that we all did. So let's cue that up real quick.
Oh yeah.
Here we go. I got it.
Okay, cool.
It's time to buckle those seatbelts and you better grab a hold of something. We're going to journey through the Awesomeverse.
All right, I'm giving up on that video with any clear resolution because I downloaded it and it looked great, and then I uploaded it to here and it looks junk. So I got no idea.
No. Just all you got to do is just say it's a stylistic choice. That's all you got to do.
Well, we'll say that. But Bobby, thank you for the voiceover on that. I really appreciate it, brother. Perfect timed. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Just realizing that there's a microphone in my face and I don't need it there because I'm not talking through that. So this has kind of been a thing that's been an ongoing battle for almost a month here, guys.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Big friend of the show, one of our very loyal frenzied patrons, David, Motu Origins Quirk. He's always looking out for everybody, always trying to, do a good deed for everyone. And a couple of weeks ago, he had stumbled across a really good deal on a grail that I think quite a few of us have in this. And if you weren't around towards the very beginning of Origins, you would have missed out on this. And the aftermarket price is normally phenomenal, but fortunately, he was able to get his hands on one at a more reasonable price.
Oh, yeah.
And then he couldn't decide who to send it to. So he got me, Skelly, and Bobby all into a death match, essentially. But we're all so nice, we just sat around and had tea and crumpets instead of actually fighting it out. So that's why we're all still here.
That's right.
So he sent this over to Skelly, and then through talking about it, it made its way to me. Thank you guys. I appreciate it so much.
Mm-hmm.
But it kind of helps spawn the topic for tonight. And then, because this was all before we knew about all our crazy news going on. And it was great because we know Adam has a wealth of knowledge, but I managed to get this thing. So you can't see me anymore because that's how big this package is.
Gorgeous.
Poke around here. Hey guys. The absolutely incredible Lords of Power 5-pack. It's got the shipper box. And for any of you mint on card guys, weep. I'm popping some seals here because one of the things that I love so much about this pack is just the box art design that they went for. Everything about this has been a grail since I found out about it, which was like a year and a half too late. And it's just really, really amazing. For those of you who know, this pack is shaped and designed inside the box like the old collector's case from when we were kids.
Yeah.
They had two designs. They had more of a red, more of a yellow. This one is based on the red one. And I'm trying to get it out of the box here. It's in there pretty nice, and it's got like these gaps in the corners because it's shaped that way. But it's just amazing to look at. This has got to be one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen.
Wow. Oh my God.
Oh, like this is just gorgeous by itself. Oh, hi, Bobby.
Sorry.
That's the most gorgeous thing you ever seen.
Nice timing.
It's gorgeous. It's Bobby. So that is that beautiful art on the back with the
God, that's beautiful.
And to see it so enlarged, right? It's just, and then we got the other side.
Yeah,
Like that is
just so good.
So good. This is a piece that I never actually ever thought I would own in my entire life, just because I know what these aftermarket prices are on this set, and it's just not even in my realm of, well, maybe I could get it. No, it wasn't there, and now I have it in hand.
Wow.
Oh, I can't even fit all of it on screen. Here we go.
That's so
Showcase
cool.
the beautiful toys because this is way more important than my ugly mug.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
You know,
I always loved how they put Beastman in there like that.
Yes.
like he's flying through the air. Yes. It was like a perfect shot. I love how we got a lot of that really early on concept, like just deco behind them, right? And looking at them, let me actually look at them some more here.
Yeah.
So
Oz, you might want to wipe your tears there.
I'm trying. I don't want to get the salty touches on. Yeah, the extra paint apps and deco on these figures is amazing. I didn't even realize in the regular shots that Skeletor actually has like different shin guards in this, like actual armor.
Yeah.
I hadn't noticed that before. That's incredible. That's all unique. I haven't seen that reused. The additional paint apps. I have the Lords of Power, Merman, and Beastman retail releases. But the paint apps on these are just so much better.
Yeah.
Like,
the paint apps on the retail releases are pretty skimpy.
Very skimpy. You know, like being able to see this and have it here versus you know, the other ones, it's like this Merman is definitely superior to that one. Like he's a little bit darker green, a little bit more like a mustardy yellow. But just like the extra paint deco on his loin piece, even on the armor itself, because there is variation to the paint on the armor. The sword, I mean, I know it may not seem like much because it's just a green streak up the middle, but it doesn't look like a corn on the cob.
Yeah.
You know, it's nice. The Man-at-Arms is just astounding. Like, again, just that little bit of extra detail with the hands. The armor itself, like I had the armor from the Snake Man-at-Arms. It's actually still different. It's not the same. They added the fur to the Snake Man-at-Arms armor, but this has a little bit more up around the mouth guard piece.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And of course he's got that, you know, the concept mace there. It just, you know, that looks like a freaking mollywopping stick versus what he normally comes with.
Yeah.
And the He-Man here, I mean, he's like your basic like vintage style look. But like the yellow on his boots for the fur is a little bit brighter. He's got like a gold. It's definitely orange, but it's almost got like glitter in it in his belt area. But then the axe, the shield, and the harness is a darker color.
Yeah.
And of course, this Man-at-Arms comes with the boot knife, whereas this He-Man does not have the boot knife. And I know I can kind of take them out of the package. It's collector friendly. I haven't done that yet, though. I don't see a power sword. Adam, you got this set, don't you?
Yeah, there's no sword, just axe and shield for him.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's different too. That's the first time I think we've had a He-Man in. I'd say first, and this is like one of the oldest parts of the freaking line. But yeah, like all the other versions pretty much come with the sword. So that's actually really unique too. But it makes sense because they had to battle over the sword.
Yeah.
And I saved Skeletor for last.
All Music fan, the knife came with the Comic-Con version, not with this. This is the PowerCon set.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that was the Prince Adam and He-Man 2-pack. Where it had the Prince Adam was decoed like he is in the DC comic.
Yeah.
So thank you, Joe.
We're all enjoying this, Joe.
I'm like a 5-year-old sometimes. This Skeletor is gorgeous, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, like even though he's got like kind of like actual eyeballs sculpted in this time, like, you know, which I say is always the creepiest part of New Adventures. There's just something more terrifying and sinister about them on this than the way they're done in other things. The extra paint app around the like even the harness, like the bat around the harness is different than the regular one. Like it's not much difference, but there is enough of a difference. Like the wings go up a little bit higher on each side, and then the little tail marks down here in the center kind of come down and out a little bit more. Or maybe it's just I notice it more because it's actually painted on this one. Which, you know, the Keldor one got paint app too, but this just, I don't know, it looks better. I like this darker purple of it, but then he's got more of a pale blue to him. It's almost like the reverse of what we were just talking about with the Battle Armor New Eternia Skeletor, where the blue really pops and the purple's very muted. This is like that reverse, but that unique looking Skeletor sculpt. It definitely looks more like movie Skeletor, you know, which I know that's not what they were looking for because the movie wasn't even an idea when the design is, but just that look of it is, it looks like his makeup in the movie.
Yeah.
David, thank you. Skelly, Bobby, you guys are amazing. Because when David was first asking me, I was like, I don't know which one of them two to tell you to send it to. Send it to. Yeah, I was like, I had arguments for both of you. I was like, send it to Bobby because he loves that Man at Arms, you know. And then it's like, well, send it to Skelly because he loves the other one. Like, there, I couldn't decide, which is then David decided to just ship it to Skelly, and then none of us could decide who needed it. So. This is 100% a grail to me. Like I said, because I never thought I'd ever own this piece. Right. And I'm holding it. I've got it in my hands.
I'm glad you have it. I can't wait to see it up there behind you.
Yeah, right.
In future episodes. Yes. God, it's just beautiful. It's beautiful closed.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know what side to display. Like, do I open it and have the figures, or do I open it the reverse and just have the box? Like, I don't know which side to actually show.
Different side for different side for each time we go live.
Yeah, there you go.
Get like a turntable. You can just rotate it.
Yeah,
turn every.
There we go.
You know, half every day.
I think what I'm gonna have to do is just like take a really good scan of the art and be like, all right, I need a big giant print of this.
Yeah, the art is phenomenal. Let's see the backside again really quick. Yeah. Right. Oh my gosh, that's so
beautiful.
Good.
Yeah, it is.
That is so
good. The art is like, I mean, obviously he's referencing Alcala, but there's also, you get the planets in the sky, which you see from some of the later, you know, the box art that came out a little bit later.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice blend of things.
This is my favorite Man at Arms too.
Yeah, I know. It's
good.
And then just one more time the front, because again, you see the planets up there, little creature.
Yeah.
You know, all inspired from Alcala, but it's totally new and gorgeous.
Yeah, awesome. And my favorite version of Castle Grayskull too.
I know. We're still waiting on that, Mattel.
I'm telling you, that's the new Eternia Grayskull. I'm hoping that that's the new Eternia Grayskull. It's going to be massive. It's going to be expensive, and it's going to look like the Alcala or Mark Taylor designed Alcala drawn Grayskull. Yeah. Man.
Well, anybody who saw my post earlier this week and wanted to know what was in that ginormous box, that was what's in the box.
Yeah. It was a tricky thing to send.
You're not kidding, man. Like
it was like I had to like experiment with different box sizes to find a reasonable way to send it. It was an adventure. But I'm glad you got it.
Yeah. I like can't say enough how much it is to just have this sitting here with me. Like, it's something again that I never ever imagined I would have. I wrote this thing off ages ago. Like, oh man, that's a gorgeous piece, but I'll never have it in the collection. Right. I wrote off a lot of con exclusives. To this day, I still write off con exclusives. Like, I'm not even too 100% sure I'm going to get that Too Bad that's supposed to be San Diego Comic-Con. I think that's just a pack, and we'll get like a regular Too Bad release. Fingers crossed.
I'm thinking the same, yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive portion of it is getting the Tuvar and Badra, and then the body pieces to make Too Bad.
Right.
My hope, my prediction, that we'll get a retail Too Bad in the future. But like I say, like I just kind of like when I see that kind of stuff, I'm glad to see it come out, but I kind of just automatically write it off.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's totally.
So for me to actually have this con exclusive, and again, this was announced and already out and pre-ordered and done with before I even knew that Masters of the Universe Origins was a thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. Like I didn't know until December of that year that this was a thing. So when I finally saw it, I was like, oh man, that's great. I wonder how much that is. And I went and looked up the price and everything, found out what it was. I'm like, oh, okay, never mind. That's why it's like 500 plus. Got it. Understood. Never going to happen. And
well, David, Motu Origins Cork. David, thank you so much for sending that our way. It's going to look great in Oz's collection. Oz, I'm so glad you have it. It's awesome.
I'm gonna have to store it and display it for a while, and then I think I'll box it up and like ship it to Bobby or something, and then he could display it for a little bit for his man at arms, and then we'll make it back around to Skelly, and you can display it for a bit. It'll go on the tour. Adam, I'm leaving you out because you already got one.
Yeah. By the time we spent all that money on shipping, we could have all bought ourselves.
Exactly. Yeah. No, it's very cool. And there's the toy collecting experience for these particular things is not over for us. And one might come our way. And if,
always on the hunt.
If one affordable version of it showed up, another affordable version of it might show up in the future. But in the meantime, we get to enjoy it vicariously through you, and that's for me. That's like more than enough. Seeing your joy is great.
Yep,
it's a top shelf piece for certain, and it will be elevated above pretty much everything else in the collection, so that you can prominently see it back here. Each and every week. And yeah, you guys are right. Like I just got to keep flipping it around and doing different things with it each week because it's a hell of a piece. I'd like blown away.
Yeah, it's great.
So that was the journey around the awesome verse.
Yeah. Now are we ready for a Battle Ram report to piggyback off of that?
Yep.
Yes.
All right.
Need me to hit it?
You got it ready?
I'm still on the screen. I should be able to hit it.
I got it going right now.
Okay.
Welcome to another edition of the Battle Ram Report, brought to you by Adam, author of the BattleRamblog.com website, the best Motu site on the web. He'll throw you a He-Man punch and a Skeletor blast. Be ready to get some knowledge. Take it away, Adam.
All right.
So, Lords of Power. So most of these images come from a guy named Andy UC. He originally kind of showed these to the world, was it like a good 7 years ago? So his dad was actually a freelance artist. He was known for doing the art on the old, pinball machines. He would do all the, kind of crazy art, but he did a lot of display artwork. He did artwork for Masters. He did some of like the 3D store display, kind of embossed, artwork. So basically, when they were developing the line, they had put together these slides. They were using them for presentations and pitching it to Mattel as, let's move forward with this thing that we've developed. But they also use this they give this to John UC, Andy's dad, as basically, here, use this as a model for some of the artwork you're doing. He kept this, and so that's where this came from. He didn't, years and years later, he thought, hey, maybe other people would like to see this, and so because this came out, the PowerCon set followed a couple years later. But a lot of this, we'll go over the images, but none of these images had been seen before at the time.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and some of the prototypes hadn't been seen either, so it's really cool. So this is just an image that he took. It's kind of a ViewMaster type apparatus that you kind of could look at them, but you could also project them on the screen if you wanted. So Lords of Power. This is, I think it's probably the second working title for Masters. I think the earliest one, or at least the earliest one that we have on, that anybody did anything with, was actually Fighting Foemen. That was an earlier iteration for the brand name. There was even like the earliest mini comic draft by Don Glut it was called Fighting Foemen. It changed to Lords of Power and then finally Masters of the Universe. But you see this here under the Lords of Power banner. And I think I sent you kind of zoom ins for some of these, and you can kind of see some of the distinctive things about these figures. These prototypes, it's some of the things that we take for granted. You get He-Man with the two-tone boots, the yellow tops on the boots. He only has one bracer. He doesn't have one on the left arm. Skeletor, it's not a super clear image, but he's got the kind of a mummy, like a decayed face rather than a skull face. He's got shin guards and kind of five-toed humanish feet. And this Skeletor prototype, it looks like it's a repaint of the earlier Tony Guerrero helmeted He-Man body, but they've just given him some new, a new head and a new costume. But it looks like the same body as the other one. And then you can see two of these, the Beastman here, and then Man-at-Arms. Those prototypes had never been seen before, but it kind of answered a lot of questions, because you would see the cross-sell art for Man-at-Arms. He had these furry elements on the sides of his armor. He had, and a lot of them, he had a much bigger mace. And you see that in the early Alcala comics. So that kind of answered, okay, that's where this came from. This was the prototype that was based on. And this Beastman had never been seen before either. We'd seen like a drawing that looked somewhat like this, but we hadn't seen like a model. So yeah, that was the drawing that we had seen, the one on the left. So basically he's kind of got these football pads with spikes in this early design, but he was not, he didn't have the orange and red and blue colors that we see on Beastman. So this kind of very primitive Beastman. Kind of going through the slides, we've got Battle Ram prototype, Battle Cat prototype, which was basically they just took the big Jim Tiger, repainted it, sculpted on the saddle and the helmet. We get different views of He-Man and Man-at-Arms. A couple of other things with Man-at-Arms. He's got the armor extends past his fist on his arm. The helmet too, it's much more, it's inspired by a conquistador kind of helmet, and that's even on the final toy. It's that way too, but it's even more so. It's just kind of more narrow and pointy on this version.
I love this earlier sort of streamlined helmet. It's great.
Yeah, and he's got much darker green color that they can really lighten up on the toy. And you'll see, like Oz, as you look through your set, some of this is approximated. Like they give him on your set, they gave him like a Man-E-Face's left hand, so he's got some of that armor on his hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. He-Man, and you can see these vibrant colors too. Not sort of the muted colors. He's got, the way his hands are, they're not open. They just have like a little hole drilled through them, so that the axe is just kind of pushed through the hand. They would change that later, but that's kind of how they did this for these models. And this is another, we had seen this model before. This is another look at it. You can see it's cast in white. It's painted. The armor, I think, is just a part of the. It's not like a separate piece that you could take off. It's part of the chest.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like it's all molded together or sculpted as one piece.
Yeah.
It looks like real quick. It looks like Oz left. If you were watching the show, Oz was talking about having trouble with the internet, and he was on his phone and running out of battery energy. So Oz, if you're unable to make it back or charge your phone, be sure to come back a little bit later on. But if not, great having you here tonight, and glad you got the Lords of Power pack.
Right.
Yep. And hey, this would be a great, we've got this is the Lords of Power Battle Ram, Mattel. You could make one based on this.
Yes, please.
And I've talked about the prototype vehicles before. I showed this but this is a wooden mock-up. Again, was used as a model for a lot of the early artwork. Just different views of He-Man and Man-at-Arms. You can kind of see, if you look at Man-at-Arms left hand, it's not even detailed. It's just kind of a little ball. They haven't like fully sculpted it. I mean, you can kind of see where the armor jets out past the hand.
That's cool, though. That would be neat to have.
Yeah.
And we'll get to it a little bit later on, but the face sculpt, we'll talk about that. But I was surprised by that because I had never seen close-up images until you sent the pictures. But
yeah, the face is surprising. There's a clear image towards the end. And this is just for comparison. I showed this before. This was from Ted Mayer. The same thing. And the colors look very different just because the lighting's very different. It looks much more gray.
Yeah.
But that's the original He-Man prototype with the horns. So it's kind of neat. They went, they obviously they created this rocky terrain, and they get the red lighting. But you can see a nice image of Castle Grayskull prototype in the back there, which is similar but very different from what we got. Obviously, they made changes to simplify it, took off the ledge and the pawn on the top to help it fit in the box easier. Increase the size of the doorway to help characters get in there better, and then they kind of modified the teeth to make them a little more distinct. But this is I think it's a mold of that original prototype. There's a couple of different versions. This one's got a little bit brighter kind of green overspray over it.
And that's you and Bobby, right, Adam?
Yeah, it's me and Bobby playing as kids.
Yeah.
Yep.
Back when I had hair. I kind of like this when the Lords of Power thing came out, or actually really it was when the San Diego Comic-Con He-Man, which was the first one that came out in Origins. One thing that I was super geeked out about is if you see on the back of He-Man where where his harness is, it's like an X shape.
Yeah.
It's not like the toy where it's kind of more of an H shape.
Yeah.
And that's what they gave us, and every version of He-Man has had that. I was super geeked out about that.
That's awesome.
That's a detail they replicated.
There it is.
You can see that in Alcala's illustration here. Yeah.
So cool.
Nice that they include that.
We need a Tila like that too.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, I've made my own, but yeah, you need a blonde Tila with a gold axe and a gold sword and a spear and all that good stuff.
Yeah. There's this
This is
beautiful
what
Grayskull.
yeah. So you can see like the one on the left, it's got a lot more green overspray.
Yeah, I see that.
I think basically it was Mark. He did the clay mold, and then they would do their own castings at Mattel. So I think they made a couple of molds of it, a couple of copies,
Mm-hmm.
and then obviously it went in for revision.
There's you guys again.
Yeah, it shows the kids playing. You can see Beastman up there
Yeah.
with the cannon. You can see a little bit of the flag. So the flag was different. It looks like He-Man's axe. This was the flag that we got. But this original version, it's more like a banner. You get a skull on one end and He-Man's axe on the other. So it's the same play pattern, but just without the cross swords.
I see that. That's cool.
I love that. I love that image. Just the He-Man and Beastman in front of it.
That's the Battle Ram skull, isn't it?
Yeah, actually, it does. It
Yeah,
looks very much like it. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty close.
And then at the end, and that's that I just threw in, like that was we knew about this prototype Skeletor. We had that image, but like I said, we didn't have all of these images of all these prototypes before. Then at the end, they call it He-Man Collection.
Yeah.
This image is interesting because you can see, I think in the next one, I've got it zoomed in. You've got He-Man, Merman, and Man-at-Arms together. And I think I've talked about this, but Merman at the time, there was specifically a pitch for Lords of Power, and it listed Merman among the heroes. He seems to be he helps He-Man, so that's why he's there.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then you can see this.
Yeah, there it is. Uses his aquatic powers to help He-Man.
Yep.
Wow.
So you see, this basically this was the original 8 minus Zodak. Instead of Zodak, you've got Sorceress, aka Green Goddess.
Yeah.
I like that. Has the powers of mysticism, but is also beautiful. So
right. Yeah.
If you have any doubt about that,
Right. Yeah. And Tila's also got. Yeah, they're beautiful guys. Don't forget that. Yeah.
Thanos is still hoping for a single card of that Skelly and that Man-at-Arms. Me too, man.
Yeah.
Me too,
That'd
Thanos.
be
Great.
Yeah.
But in this slideshow, you see there's also the Masters of the Universe logo. So it must have been they hadn't, they'd taken all these pictures, they put, Lords of Power collection, but then they wanted to say, oh, and by the way, it's going to be Masters of the Universe.
Yeah.
The actual final name.
Yeah. Which is a good call.
So this is my first time seeing this Man-at-Arms sculpt so close.
Me too.
And I was like, Christopher Walken.
Yeah, it does look like them. This was given the image on the right was given to me by Dusan M. Mitrovic, Serbian guy. He works with James Etok a lot on his Filmation videos that he does. But he had a clearer image of this, and so he was a little annoyed because they kind of used the toy face for this Lords of Power set.
Yeah.
But the actual face didn't really look like that.
Right.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, that would have been neat to have the actual face.
Yeah. And then I just kind of threw some images. That was, I think, the official Mattel image, just of the set, which Oz showed us.
Yeah.
When I reviewed it, I took some photos. This one, Axel put put this out. This is, the image for the box, but originally he'd put in Stratos in there. So like the mini comic Stratos, which was taken out of the final, but he had it.
No wonder why there's so many of those Stratoses at the store. He's like,
Yeah.
you took it out, fuck it, we're gonna put a million of those in the store.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Revenge tactic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do think I remember seeing someone post this when it originally came out as this being briefly available, this poster.
Yeah.
So it's cool.
And the final art, it's in that book that came out recently too.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, this was from my set. Just goes over. There's some, kind of, if you take them out of their little plastic prisons, you can kind of use this again. And I love the artwork on this. Like
It's so good.
It doesn't look just inspired by Alcala. It looks like exactly as if we had gotten Alcala to do this. Like the scenery in the back.
It's incredible.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's nice to see them have the plastic removed and have them standing there. That's good. I think that's how I would probably display it.
Yeah, that's how I displayed them too. Until I got my castle.
Yeah. And then you have some good comparison shots,
some nice,
or good
nice
close-ups.
Photos of them.
Yeah.
Beautiful colors on these. I've talked about this. I'm OCD about colors. Much nicer colors on this one, or at least on the Merman compared to the other Merman, the retail versions. I like the yellow is just right. The skin color looks exactly like the cross-cell art.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't look exactly like the Lords of Power prototype. That one was a little bit more towards blue. They opted to do more of a cross-cell color.
Man, I really do hope they do a single-carded Man-at-Arms.
That'd be nice.
I
thought they were going to when they did Merman and Beastman. Even though Beastman's that red version instead, but they just never did.
Yeah, and Beastman again. I love the colors. Perfect color on his armor. It's that kind of bubblegum red kind of color as opposed to the brownish color they gave him in the regular release of Origins Beastman. I did some He-Man comparisons there.
Sorry.
Comic-Con versus PowerCon versus regular.
Yeah.
Release.
That's cool. Origins versus Lords of Power.
Yep.
I really love that Skeletor face, the Lords of Power Skeletor face. So good.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can really see how much brighter the Origins colors are.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
even here.
Right.
Not a huge change on the armor color, but the blue of the body is a lot brighter in Origins.
Yeah.
Same thing with the green here. Someone was pointing something out here. Vine Jungle Figure Factory is saying the turtle man-at-arms is the perfect merman color on the body. Yeah, that's pretty much the vintage merman green, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about, the color differences on that one.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Interesting. Obviously, the sculpt is very different too, but
yeah. Yeah.
There's the vintage comparison.
Yeah.
Vintage again, and vintage. Sometimes I think of vintage as bright, but then even in the
Yeah.
toned down Lords of Power, it looks somewhat dark in comparison.
Yeah.
Yeah. God, nothing quite compares to the vintage figure.
Yeah,
in there.
that is a great figure. That vintage piece, man.
It
It's
is.
so good. And the vintage He-Man too is like so good.
Yeah, you can't top that one. Yeah.
Can't top it.
Yeah, no, it's those original 8, or at least maybe 7 of the original 8.
Mm-hmm.
Pure. They're just classic. They can't
Yeah.
really be beat.
Yeah.
Even that original Man at Arms there.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It's one of my
So
favorites
good.
of all time.
Yeah.
Hey.
Oh, there they are. Family photo.
Yeah.
Look,
I
see the ring light on my eyes? It's like Merman's eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Something about these 3 together, I've always loved just the way they look together.
Nothing like it. I mean, those 3, they're like the power trio of the world. Like for me, it's like they're perfect. Throw Evil Lyn in there, and you've got this like just like the 4 greatest characters of all time. Sorry, that's a statement of absolute, I know, but that's really where my heart is.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah, I'm so stoked that Oz has this on his shelf now.
Mm-hmm. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Adam, thanks, man. This is fantastic. We just got a course on Lords of Power.
That's right.
Yeah, it's fun. I remember where I was. I was at work when Andy started posting these pictures. Like I had to stop what I was doing. I was at an event even for work. It was like, oh my gosh, what is this? How can I have these in my life?
Yeah. Right.
I love it. That's just like the story of all of our lives, checking Masters news at work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's great. This is cool. Thanks so much, Adam.
Yes, it's been awesome.
Yeah. Thank you.
Lords of Power are Mattel, if you're listening, you can go ahead and just release the rest of those figures with slight color variations to make that collector's set unique. You're still going to sell those color variation Lords of Power figures to the people that bought the Lords of Power pack. So there's no losing here. So
yeah.
So it's been more years since it originally was released, because I know a lot of people were upset when they were releasing those because it was pretty close to that.
Yeah.
Now I don't think anybody's going to get upset anymore. I
don't think so. They're just going to be happy, right?
Yeah.
Like Hello Treehouse was happy about the Battle Ram blog, Battle Ram report. Hello Treehouse. Yeah. Hello Treehouse.
He's a buddy of mine.
Awesome. Good to see you here.
Nice to see you here, man.
Yeah. So, Bobby, are you ready for yours?
Oh, if you still want to do it, it's up to you.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Come on. All right. Let me find the thing here. And ready for our next portion. We've got, wait a minute, where is it? Oh, there it is. All right.
Well, it's about fucking time, let's enough of this Motu bullshit. No. No, what I wanted to discuss today, just real quickly, it's not going to take too long, is I was going to do top 5, but it's anarchy, so I'm going to do top 7 because I can't not show these other 2. but they're going to be the top 7 debut albums that mean stuff to me.
Yeah.
It might not be the top debut albums for everybody, but for me, they are. I'll go number 7. Never mind the bollocks from the Sex Pistols. This album means a lot to me. I used to run around as a teenager, walking the train tracks of Chicago, listening to this on my headphones, and wee hours into the night when the sun would go down, I'm still walking around listening to this album.
It's such a good one.
It is. And yeah, I love it. It means a lot to me. Even though the Sex Pistols sometimes sound maybe they're overrated or whatever, or people say that, but they did a lot for the punk community back in the 70s, especially 76, 77.
Agreed.
Next album is Songs the Lord Taught Us from the Cramps.
Oh, yeah.
Great one.
If you love rockabilly and you love it's got the punk edge to it as well, and horror aspect, which is all 3 is what I'm about. It's a perfect album. Garbage Man's a great song, but I love the Cramps, one of my favorite bands.
I used to blast that on my headphones going when we used to ride the L a lot going to school. So great album.
Okay. Beautiful.
Fantastic.
All right. I think Skelly will like this one. Kiss's debut.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kiss is the first band I ever really got into as a 10-year-old. My first album I ever bought was their 3rd album, Dress to Kill. Got it for $3, but since I'm talking debut albums, this is you can't beat this album. It's so good. I mean, I know Kiss, they even say it doesn't sound so good, doesn't capture what they are. I like it because I'm more into punk anyway, so I like the rawness of sound.
Oh, for sure. I think
this is a great album.
I mean, as they progressed as a band and they earned more money, their sound got produced better, but that album sounds great because it's a document of a period of time for them.
And Destroyer, I know a lot of people love that album. That's my least favorite of the first 6. I think it's too overdone. It's too overproduced. There's a couple songs in there that just kind of drive me nuts. Because they got like the chorus, women singing in the background. Yeah. There's a couple of songs on there, but they do have some great songs in it. But I love especially the first 3 albums. But since I'm talking debuts, Kiss is on there because
that kind of
one of my favorites of all time.
Fits in the Lords of Power theme too, because the makeup's slightly different for all of them. The designs are slightly different. The earlier iteration,
I'm very attracted to Kiss's makeup. I like the periods that they change.
Yes.
I can always say, oh, that's from their 74. That's 75. That's 76. I can always tell that, and I love the early stuff. Next album, Dead Kennedy's Fresh Fruit.
Oh, yeah, baby.
This, I'll tell you, I'm a huge Dead Kennedy's fan. I have everything that they put out on vinyl. I have all their 45 or singles and all that, and their 12-inch singles. I have everything that they put out.
Love it.
Dead Kennedy's means a hell of a lot to me. Especially this album. I love this album because it's not as fast as, well, I guess, I don't want to say that, but the songs are beautiful. Holiday in Cambodia, I mean, come on. It's genius.
It's like the feel-good hit of the summer.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It's great. I loved Holiday. I love Holiday in Cambodia. I mean, it's political, but it's tongue-in-cheek. Jello Biafra is like the king of lyric writing in my opinion. He's one of the best. They're so like sharp edged and ironic and funny and hard hitting. Such great lyrics.
Yes, his lyrics are awesome. I don't know. I'm so influenced by Jello, and I usually are not influenced by a lot. But I was influenced by him a lot as a younger.
I don't blame you. Yeah.
Next one. This one has a banger after banger after banger. The Twisted Sisters.
Oh yeah.
Under the Blade. I swear to God, people might think this Twisted Sister they look goofy. If you don't look at them and you listen to their music, these guys will kick you in the ass harder than anybody else will.
Oh, they're so good.
I stand up for that.
You should.
I was just listening to this the other day when I went for a walk, and I was like, I mean, shoot them down. Every time that pops on, I have to crank it up louder when I'm listening. You know, it's just, and if you watch them live, you know, Mark the Animal Mendoza, who's the bass player, he just thumps that bass. It's magic. I love Twisted Sister. They're my second favorite band.
Yeah,
but
they're
their
fantastic.
third album closest to the first.
Yeah.
Okay, next one is The Doors.
Hey, that's great too, man.
I love The Doors are awesome. I love them.
Yeah.
This album, I mean, come on, you got Break On Through comes on first. I mean, it just kicks you in the ass and brings you in, and then the rest is all like it's magic.
It's a solid album from beginning to end. That doesn't always exist for bands, and it's just like perfect.
And I don't really like long songs. You know, as you tell, I'm more like the punk stuff, like quicker. Even the Kiss albums, they're like 3 to 4 minutes long. But the end is 11 minutes and 41 seconds. But that doesn't feel that long. It's just it just takes you, and you just go on that trip with
it. It's a journey. Yeah,
it is. And then, of course, I think you all going to know what number 1 is, right? The Ramones.
Yeah, baby.
30 minutes of kick your ass, motherfucking bash you in the face. The Ramones are like my parents to me.
Yeah.
These guys, I stopped listening to them for a little bit, take a break, and it was like a year long. I didn't listen to them, and then I put them in the car when I was driving, and it was their live album I was listening to. I actually got tears in my eyes because I've seen these guys live 4 times, and I love them dearly. They mean so much to me, and they're all dead.
Yeah.
So it's a tragedy to me, but this is my favorite of all time.
Ramones, the Doors. I went through a period of time listening to the Doors. Went through a period of time listening to Twisted Sister. Kiss is always going to be one of my favorite bands, but the Ramones, I can say it. And Sex Pistols too, great. But the Ramones changed my life.
Same here.
It changed my whole perspective on how. They changed my perspective on several things, art making in general, and just be true, be real,
right. Yeah. Be who you are.
Be who you are.
Just
love
it there and be it. Yes.
Yeah.
So there you go. There's my first Anarchy.
Love it. Thank you, Bobby. Fantastic.
Thank you.
Nice job.
All right. Well, let's go on to I love that intro so much.
I worked so hard to match though, because there's 2 separate images and to go with the song too. So I had to really do a lot to adjust.
Oh man. No, I love that. Thank you. So Weekly Weirdo is no longer its own thing. We're doing it on the Frenzy now, and I'm really excited because I haven't done a Weekly Weirdo in almost 2 months now.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Maybe 3 months. I don't know.
I would say longer. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe 3 months. I think so. Something like that. But yeah, I don't know. It's hard to follow up your list of CDs for first albums, and also, Adam, it's impossible to follo up the archive of knowledge. Oh yeah, it is. But this guy's always been one of my favorites, and he resides in a warm, fuzzy place in my heart. Probably just because of the sheer ballsiness of his design. It's super weird. And as a kid, I had this guy, and he'll just always be one of my favorites. He ain't no Beastman, but he's Grizzlor. And Grizzlor, so I had Grizzlor as a kid. I've probably said it before, but my mom gave away my toys because I lost interest in them, or for a period of time, as most young teenage boys do. But Grizzlor was one of my favorites. This guy is fantastic. He's also like, whoever thought, let's just put fur on this character and sew it on and glue it on, what a genius idea. I never got the dark face Grizzlor, so I don't have a nostalgic attachment to him. But I loved Grizzlor in the She-Ra cartoon. And so, Rip-a-Grizz is part of the Toy Frenzy lore. So I'm excited to bring this guy out and Rip-a-Grizz again, because that's we haven't. It's too bad Oz isn't here for that. But this is the Origins Grizzlor. Let me go in order, actually. So yeah, so I'm getting ahead of myself. This is in the tradition of Weekly Weirdo. So this one I ordered on eBay, and he was the first Grizzlor I got since my childhood Grizzlor. He came in the mail quickly. He was very affordable. I got him about 4 years ago. And I'm super excited to have him. And he looks, he's in good condition. His legs are a little sticky, but other than that, he's in good condition. Then I got the Super 7 Reaction Grizzlor, which is based on the Filmation Grizzlor. And I love the Filmation Grizzlor. I wasn't ever able to get the Filmation Club Grayskull Grizzlor, but I do have this guy, and I do have the Masterverse Grizzlor, which we'll get to in a little bit. Then when Origins announced Grizzlor coming out, so much controversy around this guy. People able to get him, people unable to get him. The made-to-order Grizzlor, and I did not invest in the set that came with the dark face Grizzlor. Mm-hmm. But I am happy to have the Origins Grizzlor. This guy's great. And what's great about him, as everybody knows, his head is articulated and it's not connected to the big carpet body of the vintage. And then I recently bit the bullet. I got the Masterverse She-Ra Princess of Power Grizzlor. I was not going to get this guy, but I had him on my Amazon wish list, and I was watching his price go up and watching his price go down, and I missed the boat on getting him for $15 this one time a couple months ago. And so I just got him at regular price, $21.99, free shipping, Amazon. And then I got him, he arrived, and I opened him up, and I was just kind of shocked by how fantastic his face sculpt is. And then the crossbow was a real shocker. Look at that.
Yeah, that's great.
Cycloptic crossbow. I guess the vintage one, this is interesting. The vintage one was cycloptic. Mm-hmm. And the Origins is not.
Oh, yeah.
And
they used a different one.
Yeah, it's strange. I don't. So I don't know what the decision. Why that they made that decision.
Is that the Hordak crossbow, just in green on the Origins one? I'm trying to remember probably. Which one looked like that.
I wish I had a vintage Hordak. I do not have a vintage Hordak with his crossbow, and I do not have my Origins Hordak out, so I can't look at his crossbow. He's in the box somewhere.
Yeah, because Leech, Hordak, Mantena and Grizzlor all had different faces. So maybe they just.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So maybe, yeah, that's interesting. I might have my crossbows mixed up.
Well, it's green, so it should be right, but
it should be right.
Thinking, but maybe they just, instead of making a new mold, they just reused one of the previous.
Yeah, they probably did that. Yeah.
So this Masterverse Grizzlor is really cool, and he's got the Filmation face, so I don't feel like I need to get the Club Grayskull Grizzlor. He's going to look really good standing next to my my 1987 Masters of the Universe movie Beastman. He's going to look like cousins. But yeah. So yeah, that's my weekly weirdo for this for tonight's Frenzy is Grizzlor. I love the guy. I have a lot of fond memories of playing with him. It would be really interesting to see, because I played with him a lot. It'd be interesting to see my vintage Grizzlor from my old collection, to see what kind of condition he was in, because I was digging holes and throwing my figures in there and having a blast as a kid, and Grizzlor was out there too. I did not treat him different just because he had a bunch of fur.
Yeah, we didn't think about that when we were kids, playing with it. It's like,
no. I mean, you could throw this.
If you touch it wrong, you're like, don't touch it that way,
Yeah. One of the things, this is a little, maybe I'm just a little bit of a germaphobe, but one of the things that like freaked me out about buying somebody else's vintage Grizzlor off of eBay was like, what's he gonna smell like when he gets here? Because people smoke and stuff like that, and is he gonna look all goopy and weird like Mossman? My vintage Mossman's like, I tried to wash him. There's no fixing that. But he turned out good. He's in great shape. Awesome. Doesn't stink or anything.
Nice.
So yeah, that's my weekly weirdo.
Beautiful.
Very good.
Beautiful.
Well done.
Thank you. All right, now let's do. Well, before we do this, let's quickly go through the rest of the slides. Are you guys okay with that?
Sure.
Yeah, the Masterverse stuff.
Yeah, there's just a few left here. Let's just because the one that's waiting in the wings is one I really want to talk about.
Okay.
This guy. So what are your thoughts, guys, on this new Eternia Merman?
At first, I thought it was weird looking, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's not quite what I was hoping for. I was hoping for something that would, the other characters, the other new Eternia characters are really showing some original design aspects, nods to previous iterations, as well as some newer elements. And I feel like this guy is a nod to the vintage figure in a way, but also maybe a nod to the Mondo one. And I'm still going to get him when I can find him somewhere, but it's not quite what I was hoping to get.
The sword is a bit like 2000X. With the kind of the bow design on the card.
Mm-hmm.
I had thought originally like there were black. This was black paint all over him on these the belt and the shoulders. I guess if you find a higher res image, it's actually more of a tarnished bronze, but it's very dark.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think if it was copper, kind of like the loincloth and the it would look better with that rather than the really dark colors. The face, I don't, it's not. Face isn't quite doing it for me. It almost reminds me of the what are those God, what are those, the pirate Caribbean movies, you know, the
Davy Jones.
Davy Jones kind of face, instead of
Yeah.
a merman face.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It doesn't scream merman. It screams like it's like one of Merman's minions or something.
Yeah.
He doesn't have that
Yeah,
specific
he could be a
face
minion.
for that, you know.
I just gotta say, like, I'm glad that the cartoon origins or the cartoon version of Merman is coming out at the 5.5 scale. And I was really looking forward to a Merman that honors Merman a little bit more.
Yeah.
He's just not quite there. And plus, it didn't come with a trident, which would have been a nice nod.
Yeah. Right.
To 2000X. I don't know. I just it's not great. But you know, I don't have the comments on, so I'm not seeing what people are saying. And yeah, he should probably be a little bit tougher too. He looks somewhat gentle, like the Revelation and the Revelation version of Merman.
Yeah.
Like he came out of the water and someone's showing a light on him, and he got like deer in the headlights look.
And that's honestly the look that Merman always makes, so I'm okay with that. He just looks like kind of like there's an element of he's gonna attack you with a softer touch, perhaps. I don't know. It's like strange. Yeah.
The gloves are interesting. They're not gloves. It looks like it's obviously that's his skin color on his forearm somehow. Yeah, it's interesting. There's interesting stuff. I do like the copper loincloth with the scales. There's those hanging bits, which is a nod to the
that's a nod
prototype.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's not enough. I feel like it's too much of its kind of its own thing, and it doesn't.
Yeah,
it's not hitting the mark.
He could be a little bit bulkier too. I don't know. I just feel like it's just not quite doing it. Anyways, I had to talk about that. I'm still going to get him because I love Merman. But I just was hoping for a little bit more.
Yeah.
Especially from New Eternia, because I feel like New Eternia has been like 95% fantastic. There's a couple of figures I've just not gotten, but most of the villains have been great. Oh, and then Leech. I'm just really excited about the Filmation style Leech.
Yeah, he looks good.
He looks really good.
Yeah. Beautiful sculpt. The face, I mean, it's Filmation, but it's kind of its own thing, just in terms of the expression. It's very stylized expression.
Yeah, he kind of looks like he's got a little bit like his mouth is kind of like almost off to the side a little bit with his. Yeah, it's great.
I am. This is me again, harping on color. The color isn't right though. He looks more like the slush head color.
Yeah,
he should have a darker green.
He should, yeah.
But I do love the sculpt. It's a really nice sculpt. I like the
pea soup.
On his hands. If you get these images aren't the best, but like if you find a higher resolution, it looks like he's got little tiny teeth on his suckers. On his hands,
I see that.
Kind of cool.
That's good.
So yeah, lots of great attention to detail.
This he's pretty awesome. I think like the changes that they've decided to make to him, I accept. Unlike with this guy, sorry. But yeah, he's good. He looks good. And then the Green Goddess, we're getting the Green Goddess because of Revolution, and I think that's awesome. She looks great. She looks gorgeous. I mean, I'm a big fan of the Green Goddess, and so it's nice to have a version of her. And Cyclone, I hope this makes some people happy. I think I'm going to pass, but I'm pretty sure Matthew Deutsch from Legends of Grayskull is going to get this guy. I love what they did with the chest piece.
It's beautiful.
Yeah,
It looks like a bubble shape kind of on it. Yeah.
And there's some three-dimensionality there, which is fantastic. He's got kind of a Doctor Strange shield thing going on, which is neat to see.
Yep. He's metallic, and all of his colors are metallic. It's like a metallic yellow, blue, red, which is nice.
Yeah. Yeah. And then
we get to this one.
Yeah, we gotta go to show this one. But yeah, this is definitely, everyone's been talking about it. This is definitely the Faker head sculpt from Masterverse New Eternia Faker. And Bobby, you mentioned in the Patreon chat that's just Skeletor's face with skin, right?
Right.
Is that,
I mean, he's got real big cheekbones.
Yeah.
It just looks weird. It's odd.
This picture looks better than this picture.
Yeah.
But
it might just be the paint or the light. Because everybody likes this on Faker, right?
Yeah.
It just is a little weird somehow. I don't know.
We were all fighting for this to see this as He-Man, and everybody was yelling about it. Me too. And now seeing this, I'm like, maybe we were a little bit wrong.
Yeah.
But I love that they included the caps as an accessory.
Yeah, right.
That's nice.
I mean, I don't think they're actually going to be caps, but I love that they included the caps.
Yeah.
The mechanical bits on his arms are interesting. That reminds me of KO from New Adventures. He has these mechanically augmented arms that allow him to punch harder. So it's kind of like that.
I'm laughing at J-Mac's comment. Throw Mama from the train, power punching man. Totally. He looks like he does. He looks a little bit like the mom from Throw Mama from the train.
Paul Waters.
Owen.
That's the same lady from the Goonies, right? Or am I wrong?
Absolutely, same lady from the Goonies.
Yep.
I used to know her name.
Yeah, I don't remember.
And last slide, I just had to throw this in here. The box art is notorious for giving us hints at what may come. This is from the collector box art, and big thanks to Eldor, Masterversal Toy Hunter, for posting this close-up image. I don't know where he got it from, but I'm sure he got it from somewhere that he referenced, and we could trace it all back to probably Mattel. But this image got me a little bit excited, because does this mean we might potentially get a Filmation Grayskull?
That would be awesome.
Or Filmation. I mean, all of these, the vehicles and the Grayskull are Filmation style. Yes. Oversimplified shapes and colors, and then the Grayskull is like that lumpy, fantastic, wonderful, weird Grayskull from Filmation. So
if they do that Grayskull, I hope they put some real effort into it. Don't cheap out. Make it really, use good materials, make it high relief, lots of detail. Because that actually, most Filmation stuff is low detail, but Castle Grayskull Filmation is not. It's very high detail.
It fits in with the rest of the all the characters are simplified, all the vehicles are simplified, but the backgrounds and the Snake Mountain and Castle Grayskull and Eternos Palace, like all those places are high detail. So I hope that they do that with this. I mean, based on the artwork that we're looking at here, you've got all the sort of, lava rock aspects of this particular Grayskull. And man, I hope that this is something that we see in the future.
Yeah.
Anyways, had to do that. Finish up the wonderful. Adam, thanks again for the slides. Now we've got another special segment as we get close to the end here. I love that so much. I can't. I'm like squirming over here, half dancing, just squirming with joy. I love that one. So yeah, guys, what do you got going on?
From last week, I haven't made much progress. I'm still working on the Meteorbs article. So that'll be up soon, I hope. And then I'm still kind of doing some thinking about some more Patreon exclusive.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, fantastic.
Awesome.
Dog ate my homework.
Yeah, that's great.
It's all right. It happens, you know.
It's I found like the last 3 weeks have been insanely busy for me and my family, and it's been hard for me to get out there and work on, make serious progress on Snake Mountain. I get it. It's like you can only do so much.
Right.
How about you, Bobby? Well, Bobby, you've been busy, man.
Yes, I have.
I love it.
My new episode comes out tomorrow for Decker and Northcutt Case Files. It's part 2 of Case 2. It comes out tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific time, noon Eastern. I also have I finished writing part 6 today, and I have part 3 already loaded up on YouTube. I just have it hidden right now, so that's all ready to go. And I've also decided to do a little bit more world building in that universe. So I have, coming after case number 2, I'm going to separate the cases from now on and start throwing in like little mini series here of different aspects. So the first one will be it's going to be called Death of Northcutt Universe Vampires.
Yeah.
It'll deal with a character that's been mentioned in Skelly's Stranger episode in the universe story of Tombstone. I am going to tie a lot of that stuff in and expand on that more as well. So hopefully it'll be a little bit more excited. I just didn't want to do like case after case after case after case. So this way it'll break up some stuff as well. And because I got to do more on the werewolf mob and all that other stuff too. And maybe Sheila's witches and all kinds of things. Yeah. So it'll be cool.
You gotta give us all that. And that I love how deep this is going. I mean, this is like, if folks, if you like how complex the world around Dick Tracy is, for example, or Hellboy's a great example too.
Yeah.
Like this is like slowly becoming this universe that I just want to be in all the time now. I'm seeing like, I hope you write a script. I'm seeing like a series of films. Like
I'll be 51 years old. I hope it comes pretty quickly.
Hey, 51 is nothing. You're halfway there, my friend. Yeah. You got another 50 years in you to do more.
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah. So no, I just it's so cool and so much fun. And I'm stoked for you. This is great.
Thank you. Yeah, so I got all that coming. I think that's it. Yeah, I got a lot of ideas written down already. So
yeah,
no time slowing down.
That's great. Yeah. So that's tomorrow morning. The second.
Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah, the second episode's tomorrow. Yeah, every Friday. I have universe stories coming too. I got one called Rib Cage. That's coming after part 4, and those will air on Mondays. They're just side stories. Like yours is a little bit different than a side story because it sets up a lot of stuff. But yeah, that's how all that's coming that way too. And I do have a character coming soon in an episode that I've had planned since the very beginning. I just couldn't get him in the first case, and I'm like excited that he's here.
That's great,
and it's and it fits with the story. He wouldn't have fit with the other one so much, but now he fits in because now I can shrink, the world down a little bit because I had to make the first one a bigger part of the city, a big city part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Folks, go over there to Bobby's YouTube channel. It's Bobby Dangerously, and listen to the Decker Northcutt case files over there. You got a lot of catching up to do if you haven't started listening, but definitely listen in. They're so good. It's just like old time radio, but with a new edge, and it's noir for people who like monsters. I mean, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
So let's see. The current episode of Cambridge and with Sean that is available to listen to, we talk about Planet of the Apes.
Beautiful.
We talk about Devo. It's a lot of fun. You go listen to that, folks. Go subscribe to that or follow, however you do it, on wherever you listen to your podcasts. Follow Cambridge and with Sean. Talk to my friend Mark over there. We just recorded a new episode. And the new episode, we're covering some Masters of the Universe territory because Mark is talking about Big Jim, and I am talking about Beastman. So I get a chance to really go deep with Beastman a little bit, and it's perfect timing because of this, amazing Mondo figure that the Patreon sent me, that you all sent me. And so, the new episode should launch right during the first week of April. So, so that's right around the corner. Man, that's right around the corner.
I know, it's going quick so far this year.
Yeah, way too fast. So this Monday is a holiday for us. So we're all in education in my family, so we all have Monday off. And I'll be working a little bit more on Snake Mountain, so I'm excited to make some more serious progress there. So for those of you who are anxiously awaiting the next episode or the next part of that build series, the next one's I'm making. I'll leave it to what you see when you watch it. I was gonna give some stuff away, but yeah. I wish Oz was here so we could talk about what he was doing, and then oops, wrong one. Here we go. Wait a minute. It's missing.
Just kidding.
I don't think we have. Oh, here it is. Wait a second. Here, oh, I know what it is. All right, here we go.
You got it?
Okay, I'm going to stop it there. I wanted. We never interrupt the credits. We usually let the credits interrupt us, but I did want to say thank you all so much for watching. Listen, every single one of you that tunes into this every week, we really appreciate you all because we usually cut it off at the end, and maybe we don't get a chance always to say this, but you are all phenomenal, and I can't express how cool it is that you all come around and watch. And Bobby and Adam, you're awesome too. And also, also, Oz, we miss you, man. We wish you'd come on back and pop in with us again. But yeah, so
I got.
Yes, you were gonna say.
I have to take a crap. Let's go. I'm just